Hello, everybody. Today, our topic is a nurse. We are going to celebrate our nurse community. Okay, on the 12th of May, it was International Nurse Day, the birth date of Florence Nightingale, the founder of modern nursing. Today, we are going to acknowledge the birth of modern nursing and who, what, and how they embrace their role. Okay, so. Please let me know if you can hear me. Yeah, just give me a thumbs up if you can hear me. And Mel is gonna come on live with us. I'm going to introduce myself and then I will introduce our guest, okay? So my name is Ange or Anjali. I'm a women's health fitness trainer. Hi Mel, welcome.
Hello.
I'm just introducing myself and I'm going to read your wonderful bio. Okay, you can hear me right, okay? Right? Yes. Yeah. Okay, here we go. Hello everybody. Just give us a thumbs up if you can hear us, okay? So my name is Angel Anjali. I am women's health fitness trainer and nutrition counselor, and I'm the founder of this platform. Okay, today we have an amazing guest, Melissa from Open Mind Sandtray Therapy. Okay, so I'm going to read this wonderful bio of Mel, but I have to shorten it up with respect for what you have achieved. So, so you wear a professional few hats. I'm a clinical nurse specialist, credentialed diabetes educator with New South Wales Health in the Northern Rivers and a trauma-informed Sandtray therapist at Open Mind Sandtray Therapy on the Gold Coast. So okay, correct me, okay, if I'm not reading it right, all right? So, yeah, and then, so diabetes wise, you specialize in both type 1 and type 2 diabetes and as well as gestational diabetes. And you have gained valuable experience working as a diabetes educator at Diabetes Australia, Northern Territory, and the Royal Darwin Hospital. So, yes, and what is the other one is following relocation from the Northern Territory to Victoria Box Hill Hospital, where you were working as a diabetes clinical nurse consultant with Eastern Health,
Yep.
right? And it's never ending, Mel. How many things you're doing? Gee whiz. And you're yeah, and your public health service has led you to Sandtray therapy at Open Mind Sandtray Therapy, where you are able to combine your experience in a medical space alongside holistic therapies, non-traditional talk therapies. So, and yeah, I know you said it's a little bit challenging to explain it. Let's explain that one, but I will try to read this. I enjoy drawing on my nursing experience working with families and particularly my pediatric and young adult community to support expression, processing and advocacy in the community impacted by medical or complex trauma, those who have ADHD, ASD, or experience grief and loss and anxiety or depression. I'm sure that is really good explanation for that, what you do in Central Therapy. And you love to educate, so being a student, learning facilitator, and lecturer with Southern Cross University's postgraduate diabetes education program always fills my cup. That's a great way to fill your cup up, isn't it? Teaching others.
Yeah, I do find joy in educating and yeah, teaching people.
Yes. That's well, we are trying in a different way, right? I'm trying in a different platform and different way, and you do it in a different way. And so we both try. Well, I can't take I don't have the certificate or anything like that. And you have two little kids, yeah, and who keeps you busy and inspired. And you have just started playing AFL for the Surface Paradise Demons Master Team. Wahoo!
I
Well done, you.
am right out of my comfort zone, but yeah, we learn when we get out of that comfort zone.
Yeah,
So yeah, pushing myself.
absolutely.
Yeah,
Yeah,
so
I agree in that. Yes. Yes. So before we start our Q&A question, so I just wanted to say this, that this talk is all about bringing the awareness and celebrating our nurse community. It's nothing about the particular, it's not about diagnostic, but just bringing awareness of what nurses do, what they do. We all know the nurses are everywhere in a hospital, but we don't know exactly what they, well, we sort of know, but not know, So Evie, thank you so much for coming here today, and we would, let's explore our questions. So what inspired you to become a nurse?
So I think, well, when I finished school when I was not even 18, and I kind of, it sounds probably a bit silly, but I kind of just chose nursing and teaching because some of my friends did. I didn't know what I wanted to do as a 17-year-old finishing year 12, but I do remember watching that TV show ER, and I liked it. So it just felt right to fill those out in my uni applications, and I got into nursing, and I think since then a lot of things that I don't think too much about end up being really great for me. I got into nursing, and I went down to Warrnambool and then finished off in Albury, and graduated in 2005 as a registered nurse. So yeah.
Amazing. Yes. Oh, that wasn't silly at all, like some people would decide to do something else, but you just wanted to try and see how you go. And if you don't try it, then you would never know, right?
That's right. Yeah.
Yes.
And it's
Yeah.
that I've done, career wise.
Yes. Thank you so much, everyone, for coming here today. We have amazing Mel, so Melissa, I should say, your full name. So who is from the Sandtray, I will have to say it properly, Sandtray therapy. Is that open mind Sandtray therapy?
Yeah.
All right. So thank you so much for coming here today. Okay. So we are going to ask Mel another question. So what's the most rewarding part of your job?
I think I can think of probably a few things. I love connecting with people.
Yes.
I think when you're in that healthcare role, connecting with people that tend to be quite vulnerable, as particularly in situations where they're well, whether it's a chronic disease or an acute phase. So I really love connecting with people and supporting people through that really vulnerable time in health journey. So whether they're well and I'm seeing them in an outpatient clinic, or if they're really, really sick in hospital. So I love being that support for that person. I love advocating as well. Sometimes when you are unwell in hospital or with a chronic disease, for example, you sometimes need that person to advocate for you. So I love being able to support people that way, particularly
voice.
Yes. For people. I really enjoy health literacy, educating people with regards to their health literacy as well. So people might not know a lot of things about their health. They might just know I've got diabetes, or and not know the full impact that it has. So that education component comes into that as well. So I think it's probably those three things: the advocacy, the education, and just connecting with people in those really vulnerable times of their life.
And so when it's interesting how when you're talking about the connection, there's I think that is what we're lacking most of the time these days, that we don't have that true genuine connection, and I think that's why people are not as it's so, most of the time when we meet people, they don't have any whatsoever, the feelings or things like that. But at the hospital, I guess people are all, in that situation that they would like to know, when you're coming to help, and they would love that connection. And you're a natural educator. You're an amazing teacher. That's great.
Yeah, it is very important to connect. I think when we just chat to people, we often say how we're busy, or I haven't do this. It's almost like busy is a new type of emotion, but it's just what we are, not how we feel. So
Yes.
yeah.
And that's a good one. It's not how we feel, not what we are. Is that right, what you said? I should, oh, it will be recorded. I was like, oh, yeah, I should have recorded. That's amazing. The another one is because we know the nurses, like your night shift, day shift, all these things. How do you stay organized and manage your workload during shift? Because you're a mum, of course, and you play so many roles, right? So how do you do it? How do you stay so organized?
Um, my home life is probably very different to my work life in
Yeah,
terms of
oh,
organisation.
I would imagine, yes.
As most parents with little kids, you by the time you drop kids off to school or childcare, you feel like you've done your day's worth of work. I,
Yes.
I, with regards to nursing, we are taught to assess and triage, prioritise our jobs and things like that. But any shift, whether you're working on the front line in emergency or on a ward, or in my current role in the hospital with a diabetes education position, you tend to just prioritise and see what you can do and who you can
Yes.
support best. And if
Yes.
there's one for a discharge that's happening and you've got to go and sort that person, then that's how you sort of prioritise those roles. It can keep very interesting and a bit tricky some days, because some days you
Mm,
might break and then the next week it's not so busy.
mm,
But it's important. I like to write lists, and
yes.
I like to tick off
Take it
lists
off.
and prioritize. Yeah, but then I'll
Yes.
get time, so it just
Yeah.
demonstrates where I am in that day. But yeah, just try your best to prioritize and support.
Yes. So you do the list. You make a list.
I do, yeah. That's how I work.
Yeah.
Because my get a bit full with 150 different tabs open, and
Yeah.
I, I changed from one thing to the other. I get a bit distracted as well, like all of us, I think.
Yes.
A list is helpful to refocus and get back to finishing off those jobs.
Yes. Oh, fantastic. That is not for nurses, but for the general people as well. It gives us, the idea how do you stay organized. So Salia says a very empathetic profession. So
Oh,
yes,
thank you.
so it is, yes. So we will, that is, wonderful way to, amazing way to stay organized, to make a list, and it helps you to refocus back in your job when you get distracted.
Yes.
Yeah. So, and what is the most challenging situation you have faced as a nurse?
I think I think you learn. I learned a lot in the early days,
Mm.
because you go to uni and you learn a lot of theory, and then you get thrown out in the real world in a real hospital with real people,
Oh,
and
yes.
you're in charge. So I think it's you learn from mistakes.
Yeah,
Mistakes are good
absolutely.
because you it's as much as you can feel bad if you make a mistake, you're going to learn a lot from that. I think, yeah. The What was the question? I forgot about my
Uh,
biggest challenge.
no, your biggest challenge in your nursing, as nurse,
I
your
think,
biggest challenge.
yeah, I think you tend to be very empathetic, and you can get burnt out and tired and give too
Mm,
much. So I think it's important to remember to look after yourself as well, so you can keep supporting other people. So yeah, just looking after yourself, I think, is important in those early days. And yeah, learning from your mistakes and not being too hard on yourself. We're all human, we're all learning, we all make
yes,
mistakes.
yeah.
Um,
Yeah,
yeah.
that's a big learning for me that I would have never started this platform if I wanted to be perfect accent, perfect everything. So I had to start from, okay, whatever it is, I'm just going to start and we'll see where I go. But I can still use that, excuse that my English is not my first language. But it's okay. I'll run with it. Thank you everyone for coming here today. So we have so just a little intro for Mel. Mel is a nurse and she is from Open Mind Sandtray Therapy with us today. Okay, so we've been asking a few questions to Mel as a nurse, as we're celebrating Nurse Week this week in our platform. So, okay, so how do you handle high pressure situation and maintain your composure under stress?
I can think of a few experiences and situations, particularly back in the olden days when I used to work in the wards on the front line. I guess with nursing, we're taught to assess, and you follow your policies and procedures, and you almost do go into that autopilot. You're being trained in emergency situations to, yeah, act and keep that person safe. They're the priority. So I guess in probably a smaller example, for example, if someone's having a hypo, like a low blood glucose level in an appointment with me or on the ward, it's important to make that person feel safe, protected. If they're seeing you get a bit worried and freaked out, they're probably going to freak out. So you almost lend yourself to them to keep them calm. And yeah, follow your action plan, your Dr. ABCs, or if someone's having a hypo, for example, as I said, you get that sugar into them, you be calm, you support them. I'm here for you. And you tend to, if you're able to stay calm, you can keep that person calm, and just, yeah, you follow your action plan, you get help, you support, and you guide that person through that emergency situation, whether it's a cardiac arrest or a low blood glucose level or
so when it's almost like at home as well. If we stay calm and handle the situation in a calm manner, the kids seem to respond better too, right? So I'm just going back to, I don't know anything about the nursing, so it's going back to my parenting.
And sometimes it's okay to freak out as well, or lose that control over your own. Yeah, you can become dysregulated yourself, so it's okay. And if you recognise that and you can get back on track, then that's okay as well.
Yeah.
Yeah,
absolutely. So here, Mummy Life Hacks. She has asked you a question. How long does a Sandtray session go for, and how often would you recommend a child to have a session? So you might have to write her in a private message.
Okay.
Mummy Life Hacks. I will just quickly write it down, and I will send you the. Or you can reply her. Is it a short message?
Yeah.
Yes.
45 minutes to an hour is an that I allow for. Some people might take 10 minutes and they've done their little sand world and their little expression. Sometimes people might not put anything in a sand tray. So I do allow about an hour for some people, and sometimes it can take up to about 5 or 6 sessions for an individual to process an experience or some emotions, and we tend to see difference in those sand worlds as the sessions go on. So up to about 5 or 6, we tend to see that processing and that healing and that resilience building from then.
Yeah, and that's a really beautiful way to help people, isn't it? Instead of just okay. I hope Mummy Life Hacks got your answer. So yes, yay! Thank you, Mel. And another one is like, what's the most memorable the memorable moment you have experienced in your journey?
Diabetes wise, I can think of a little girl in the territory who started an insulin pump. So she had type 1 diabetes. I feel like I got more from that, from the actual management, if that makes sense. It taught me a lot. I felt privileged to be a part of her journey with her type 1 diabetes, insulin pump. So yeah, that's one special little person that I can remember straight off the top of my head. Yeah, with a lot of people that I've been supporting with Sandtray therapy, just that beautiful connection I'm able to have with people, and I feel privileged to be able to help people express and yeah, process emotions and their stories. So yeah, just helping people. I feel really privileged to be a nurse and a Sandtray therapist to be able to support people.
Yeah, I can clearly tell that you know, purely love what you do. And I think when you come from that space and when you have the people to serve to, even, and you see that what you're getting as well, right? You know, like in this platform, I'm healing my, you know, old, you know, like what happened for me in the past. And sometimes I would burst into tears, and or sometimes, you know, and people say, how can you work like this, you know, like, but it's not about work, but as much as I'm, you know, doing this, but it's filling my cup as well, like, because we love what we do,
Yeah,
right?
yeah, you have to, I think, to give what you can give. Yeah.
Yes, yes. No, thank you so much for sharing that. And so how do you see the field of nursing evolving in next 5 to 10 years?
That's a good question. I, I think over the last 20 years of nearly 20 years of nursing, I've seen a lot of change.
Yes.
I think there, I think we're becoming really good at looking after our health.
Yeah.
So I think with nursing, like I'm specialised in diabetes education, so I think nursing will become even more specialised. That when there's not just nurses in the hospital, that we're in the community, we're in palliative care, we're in cancer care wards, we're in emergency, we're in primary care, we're in GP surgeries, and if you think of health conditions that people have and can have, there's a beautiful nurse usually not far away that can support that person or advocate for that person in as many ways as they can within that specialty. So I would love to see nursing become more specialised,
Mm,
and yeah, just accessible for everyone,
yes.
because if you've
Yeah,
got
you have,
have that
yes.
support and specialised care is really important for our health literacy, as I said, and our confidence and our own health advocacy role. Yeah,
Yes. So, yeah, specialize, and then what was the other one you said? Oh,
specialised in more
and
areas in
the best one I loved is that the nursing community is looking after themselves, their health as well.
yeah.
So yeah, I love that. Yeah, I think we need you. We need you guys. So you have to look after yourself, okay? You
Especially
must.
the last few years, like it's been a rough ride since COVID, as we know, for
Mm.
everyone in the world. But yeah, I think the front line is amazing, but we've just got
Mm.
to
Yeah,
keep supporting them.
yeah,
Mm.
we cannot thank you enough for that time, and still going on. So the Play Collective, Collective AU is has a question: is Sandtray therapy a standalone therapy, or can it be used alongside with other therapies?
Good question. Alongside, so it traditionally can be verbal or non-verbal. So it is just a different way for people to talk about their experiences or express. A lot of the people I see have an occupational therapist or a speech therapist or a psychologist as well that they're working with other types of modalities. So yes, Sandtray therapy works beautifully against other types of therapies.
Oh, beautiful. So I hope you got your answer, and if you got it, hey, yeah, give Mel a thumbs up, please. Okay. So I would love to keep talking with you, Mel, but I think we are almost running out of time, so we have to, you know, we if you have any more questions, please write it down and you know, comment down below, and Mel is here to answer you. And yes, and while we're waiting for your questions, Mel, tell us where we can find you, and yes, and if there's anything special, event coming or anything like that.
So Open Mind Sandtray Therapy is my little website. I've got my little Instagram page and a Facebook page. I'm connected to you, so lots of beautiful members out there that we keep connecting and catching up with. I am in Mudgeeraba on the Gold Coast, but I
Oh,
also
yes.
mobile sessions as well. So I visit childcare centres,
Oh,
schools,
yes.
homes as well. So there's no other Sandtray therapy services on the Gold Coast. I think the closest one's Brisbane, and the other one down south would be maybe Lismore or Casino. So yeah, I'm sort of covering a little bit of an area, and I'll be at the Majaraba Special School in a couple of weeks at an expo. So I'll have my Sandtrays there, my symbols,
Oh,
and
yeah, you should send me the details of that. So I would love to come and see you.
yeah, that'd be great. Yeah.
Yes. Okay. Expo. Okay. The expo. All right. So, okay. So there aren't any questions coming, but the last question is, what would you advise to someone considering a career in nursing?
Oh, I think if you're a nurturing, empathetic, beautiful, caring person who's yeah, keen to help people, I think nursing would be really easy. Is easy. You almost can't train someone to care or something like that, as awful as that probably sounds.
Yeah.
If be easy if you care and you want to do it, and if you like connecting with people, helping vulnerable people, as I said, educating people. Nursing is there's such a huge scope of practice. So if you wanted to work in emergency, you could. If you wanted to work in the community, you could. If you wanted to do education, you could. So that getting in at that Bachelor of Nursing in uni and then exploring that way, would be there's a whole other world into the nursing career.
Yes. Thank you so much, Mel, for coming here today and explaining us, your beautiful life of being a nurse, and you make it sound so easy, but how do you do it? Mostly I think of like, how do you do that night shift? Night shift sounds like, oh my God, how do you cope next day? Or,
You can eat your dinner at brekkie time, and it did prepare me very well for children. So
yes.
I've done night shift nursing since my kids, but it prepared me well for the newborn phase.
Oh, yeah, that's thank you so much for coming here today. And we truly appreciate your time. And I'm looking forward to seeing you at the expo. Yeah.
Beautiful.
So
That'd
I
be
will, and I will put all the details for the open mind centered therapy. And yes, and if you have any more questions, please reach out to Mel, and she will get back to you. Thank you
thanks.
so much, everyone, for coming here today and being so interactive and supporting us. And thank you, Mel, for coming. And we'll see you when I see you.
Great, beautiful.
Okay.
Thanks.
Bye, Mel. Thank you.